Hey guys, Donnelly here, professional post-collegiate hammer thrower, owner, founder of Atlas Peak Performance. Um, Here I got technical analysis number 2 with Chris Stonestreet, strength and conditioning coach and throws coach at UT Tyler. Yet again, another Division III coach in school. I actually competed against one of his athletes, Buck Thompson, back in the day, and in Nationals in 2014, and I'm pretty sure Chris had the 2015 Women's Hammer Champ in Division 3, so keep it up, Chris. Doing a great job down there. And I'm pretty sure Chris is a fan of Cal Dietz, so go Cal. Um, so yeah. I'm pretty sure Chris's PR is around 62 to 63 meters with the 16. Once again, just a guy kind of doing it for fun, doing what he loves. So keep that up. Chris also threw for UT Tyler back in the day. So yeah, this is one of his practice throws with the 18 from, I don't know, probably about a month or two ago now. So yeah, let's check it out. That's a good looking throw. Once again, just like Tyler's video, it lined it up. All right, so the orbit lines up pretty nicely, and you accelerate the ball pretty solid on all 4 turns. But let's dig into it deeper. So yeah, the winds pretty solid. Turning back and catching early with that step up. Catching early. I think right here, honestly, I'd say you could turn back just a little bit more, maybe turn back with your head. But make sure you work that right hand around. Looks like your left leg, or left arm is pretty straight. And you might cut it off just a little bit, but then you can see your right hand kicks in right about there, especially. And you work the ball around your left side in the entry pretty solid. Yeah, you run this ball pretty well in your entry, so man, that's pretty good. Great job there. And I'd say after watching the rest of the video and actually taking a little bit more of an in-depth look at this, I'd say probably try to keep your hands on the handle. Keep your hands perfectly perpendicular to the ground, so straight up and down. It looks like your left hand's tilted over your right just a little bit. I can't tell exactly. And that causes your shoulders to kind of tilt and rotate. And once again, that's probably the way you've been throwing for a while now, and that's why I think like you can pull it off and you make that throw look well when you line it up. But I think overall, if you can fix that and change some other things, dude, you're gonna be throwing a lot farther, at least 2, 3, 4 meters further with just some of these technical changes that I'm gonna give you here. So yeah, working around that entry pretty well. Left leg's bent over that left side. Knees are nice and tight. You can see you kind of sit down just a little bit. I'd say either start lower so you don't have to drop down. It'll be a more natural transition, a smoother transition, because I'd guess that half the time it's hard to line this up, that drop with that catch, especially with that low point off to the right. But so yeah, try to start a little bit lower. It might line things up better. But yeah, so this is also the first big point I see in your entry. So like your knees are nice and tight here, ball's at 180, and at this point you should think about stepping forward. I know that's what Lance Deal and Stuart Toger are big on. You want to step forward to 180, whereas you kind of come around and you think about working that ball around, and you want to catch early in the first turn. But I think what you're doing is trying to get ahead of the ball with that right leg, and it causes you to step around and actually catch the ball later. Whereas if the ball's at 180, you think about stepping straight forward. You're going to catch the ball probably closer to there as opposed to here. And honestly, from what I've seen, most throwers, they'll catch one pretty early, but you don't do that well. But I think that's just because you step around. If you just step forward, you'll catch the ball early. Catch the ball earlier, you're going to get on your heel sooner. You're going to have a nice long stable heel or toe to heel transition. So yeah, and then here, like I said, try to get those hands straight up and down. You can see, like, this position at 0 is pretty solid. Hips and shoulders are lined up. The only problem is your left shoulder is higher than your right, and that will cause some problems later in the throw. Literally in the next, 3, 4, 5 frames, you'll see how much of a difference it could make. So right here, you're working the ball around. You worked it past you pretty well, but then you can see right here, you can see all that tension up in that left shoulder. All right, so you're pulling hard. You're not pulling your left shoulder away, but you're tight up in that left shoulder and that left arm. All right, you need to relax those shoulders. Bring those shoulders down, slope them forward, relax your arms. I don't know if you use any sort of tacky or chalk or whatever you like when you throw, or stick them, whatever it might be. But if you don't, I definitely recommend trying to get your hands on some tough skin or maybe some stick gum, something like that. Because as soon as you can hold onto that handle better, it's easier to relax your arms and everything. And I think this is probably your biggest problem right now, is that you're up in that left shoulder and you can't relax those arms. So as you're working around, the ball should be out here, and you can see, because you pull your left side a little bit and that left shoulder's up, your left foot kind of flops open and you're pulling that left side instead of working that right side, that right knee into the left. You're coming around, the left shoulder's up. So yeah, if you were reaching out here more with your shoulders and you're much more sloped forward and those arms are longer, it'd set you up better going to the next turn. So right here, you should be thinking about getting your arms nice and long towards that left sector line, towards 180. Get that direction towards 180. Go forwards into the throw. And because that left side pulls, once again, you over rotate with that right foot, thinking about stepping around rather than stepping straight forward into the throw here. So yeah, if you think about right here, try to get that foot down. You're obviously not going to be able to get the foot down with your ball at 180, but it's an ideal. The closer you get to 180 when your foot's down, the better. And then the more time you're going to have to run it all the way around, as opposed to catching late and kind of reacting to the throw in a poor manner. So yeah, over rotate. You can see your right foot's probably in front of your left, maybe just by an inch or two, but still, that's just a little over rotation. And boom, once again, you worked it by you pretty well, but you can see that left side is just so tight up there. And because of that, your left leg doesn't straighten too bad, but with that left side pulling, this right side is this right leg's dragging behind. So what you need to do is, once again, let that ball run out to the left and be more active with this right leg. Think about picking that knee up, picking that toe up, and kind of A-skipping into the next turn forward. Alright, if you can get more active with that right side, once again, it's just going to be a lot easier. So you get right here, you think about putting the foot down right there, you'll catch the ball right here, as opposed to one frame later when it's just behind 270, just barely. And but right here, this is a nice position, shoulders right over the hips. I like that. That's awesome. Keep that up. And boom, working it by. Still tight up in that left shoulder. Head starting to peek around now. Going into that finish. Right leg's even lazier, and this is your worst turn in terms of double support. And most of the other turns you've been working to about here before your right leg picks up, and here is where your right foot picks up. So just maybe like 30 degrees or so. So this is where you need to stay down, work that right side and that left. Keep that head looking back here. If anything, you want your eyes on the hammer, but your head's just peeking open a little bit right there. And this is where you want to get nice and long out to the sector with those arms. Get your foot down, step forward, and this last finish would just be step. So yeah, and I think this is similar to all your other turns, once again, at about 270. But some of the best throws I've seen, they'll catch one early, they'll catch two just a little bit closer to 270, and then they'll catch three like back here, and then four like up here. and then just run it all the way around. Oh, and once again, posture here is solid. Hips right over those, or hips right underneath those shoulders. Shoulders over the hips. What do you want to say? And then you do a pretty solid job running it by. But then you can kind of see right here, there's just a tiny bit of elbow flexion. Rather than being super relaxed through here and just letting that ball, letting that ball run around you, you can see as you release right here, and this is what I'm talking about. This is how I know there's some tension in your arms during the throw. You release the ball, and there's that active lift during the finish rather than just, you know, releasing the ball out and up. You're trying to actively lift it up. You can see there's some elbow flexion right here, like if you're doing a bicep curl. And you come around, and honestly, it's a pretty balanced finish. I like the finish. Your left side pulls just a little bit, but not as bad as you would expect for how tight that left shoulder is and how up that left shoulder is in the throw. But yeah, so one more time. Once again, relax those shoulders. See, that's going to make such a big difference. You relax those shoulders, you think about stepping forward. Do some walk around drills. If you've ever seen that Lance Steele video on YouTube, watch that. Start doing those as part of your warm-up drills, and it'll be great. Relax those shoulders, step forward, and just be active with that right foot. That active right foot. All three of those things are just going to make such a huge difference. I wouldn't be surprised if I say you got at least another 5 meters in your throw. I know that sounds kind of ridiculous, but I bet you if you just get your arms to relax, you work on that for a week, maybe 2 weeks, I bet you you'll throw a meter farther in no time. So, nice job, Chris.
So, final overview. Pretty solid. You worked it around you, pushed it pretty well. Your posture in all the turns was pretty solid. I really liked your posture and your catches in 3 and 4. And your finish was pretty balanced. You pulled your left just a little bit, but for the most part, it was pretty solid. You finished over your center of gravity pretty well. And then just the throw as a whole, you lined it up well. So like everything you already do with your current technique, like you lined it up during the throw, kind of built from one turn to the next. But what you should fix to throw a little bit farther, big thing, dude, just relax your arms and shoulders, let the ball run long left, and then step forward into each turn with a little bit more of an active right. You do that, dude, and you're going to be throwing farther in no time. And, dude, such a big deal, but just relax the arms and shoulders. Once you do, it'll change your entire throw. So, yeah, that concludes the technical analysis for Chris Stonestreet. If you want a technical analysis of your own, visit atlaspeakperformance.com. Shot put, hammer, or weight throw, discus, doesn't matter. I do it all. I was a 3-event athlete back in Division 3, so I have pretty good knowledge of all the events. And then be sure to follow us on social media. Facebook.com/AtlasPeakPerformance, Instagram @AtlasPeakPerformance, and Twitter @AtlasPeakPerf. And then you can follow Chris on Instagram or Twitter @BrickStreet17. Follow him and what his athletes are doing. He's doing good things down there. And then follow myself on Instagram and Twitter @SDThrows. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.